Hey everyone, today I wanted to talk about Punishing Gray Raven, a mobile game that just got launched on global. It's an action RPG, very similar to Honkai Impact, but it's got some really nice visual elements to it. It's staged in a post-apocalyptic world with you basically running a cyborg soldier team where you were trying to uncover some dark hidden truths about the corrupted and try to basically reclaim the earth. So very cool stuff. It's got a visual storytelling element that I'm not exactly 100% a fan of, but other people are. The art style is great. The soundtrack is great. Overall, the game feels great to play, especially on mobile. This is currently on my computer, so it's not as great if you're using mouse and keyboard, but I could definitely see it being just as easy to play on a controller if you have it set up right. Definitely recommend trying this out for yourself. I'm going to talk about some of the new player rewards that they have: characters, combat, summons. So first things first, the new player rewards getting into this game. This game is actually given a ton of them in the mail. Unfortunately, I don't actually have the history, so I can't really show you that. But the most important one I would say is they actually today just gave some rewards for basically being in the top charted, which is amazing. That's a pretty great feat for a game releasing globally. And then on top of that, one of the first things you're going to get the pre-registration rewards, regardless if you pre-registered. I would definitely check that for yourself. But you get an S rank construct picked. The S rank or 6-star characters are the top tier characters in the game so far. This is an amazing thing for rerolling. Everybody who plays this type of game, gacha style games, they know what rerolling is, but essentially what that means is that you typically play the game until the game gives you the ability to summon, kind of tutorializes it, and then says, go ahead and do a 10 pull. Do the 10 pull, see if you get lucky. If you don't, you restart over with a new account. This is a really great solve for that. There is still kind of a way to do that in a sense, but I just don't think it's valuable, so I'm not going to really waste my time. If you are looking for this and you're looking at, oh, which one's the best one? Because I know I did. Kamui is the one that everyone talks about first as a priority. And if you get him in the regular beginner banner that I'll talk about shortly, then a lot of people have actually stated Liv is a really good support. Lee is kind of the second DPS character that you can pick. He's got some really flashy moves. He is also in an event banner, but people are recommending not to shoot for him because of some other characters that could follow suit in a later patch. And then Nanami and Karenina are both pretty solid. It's just, I would do your research on them just because a lot of people have said that they're better together than one without the other. Second thing, rewards, new player sign-in rewards. You get a character. She's not the best, but it's really nice to get a character, which is a step up from what the game gives you. So that's awesome. You also get a lot of other rewards like a weapon. You've got, some cards, which are basically equipable to each of your characters, some summon materials, and an outfit. And this is round 1 is day 1 through 7. Round 2 is days 8 through 14. So really nice, keeps you coming back. You got a first purchase reward. If you are wanting to do that as a Dolphin, you definitely can. I would definitely recommend just doing the monthly pass though. This would be what everybody is basically saying. The way that this game is looking is that it's very nice when it comes to the free-to-play first summons on characters. Like, it'll give you enough free-to-play currency as long as you're playing enough to be able to obtain every character as they launch. The downfall, though, is they may have some exclusive weapons that you will not be able to get your hands on unless you're extremely lucky in the gacha, which, let's be honest, that's not as often as we would like. So this kind of helps make up for that as kind of like a backup for yourself. And so having this is kind of a subscription to play, so definitely do that, safely, of course. Now, taking a look into the characters, the game gives you 3 main characters: Lucia, which is a B rank right off the bat, and then Nanami, and then Liv. So Lucia is actually kind of your DPS character. She's mainly physical and fire. She's got some really flashy flurry attacks. But again, when you're doing your roles, you're probably going to be going for your main DPS character, so she's easily replaced. So most people are saying not to build her and waste resources that you're going to need to put into another character. Liv is a very positive support. A lot of people say that she's great to build early on, be A rank or S rank. And just keep in mind the ranks do actually change the type of character that it is. If you get a rank Liv, it's different than the B rank Livs. And then Nanami is the other one, and she's more of a tank, but she is very powerful to build just because she can work universally with a lot of teams. Going into the characters, I guess I'll start here. We actually have some outfits, which the game actually has done pretty good with the cosmetics, and most of them are free to play obtainable, which is awesome. If you want to look more at the details of the character, you can here. It'll give you a review. I just love these hexagons. They're solid. I dig it. You got the specialty, physical and fire, 80-20, so mainly pretty much 100% physical. And then this is a really cool function of this game that I really appreciate. Based on the community, they can actually suggest what type of party builds to have with a character. This is based on how many likes one got. These are the top 3 picks in Phantom Pain Cage, which is more of endgames type stuff, and then Warzone as well. If you're unsure of who to pair somebody with, I think for new players, this is a fantastic resource for you to try out. The other cool thing is you've also got recommended equipment. This is going to obviously suggest some pay to play content, like obviously the number 1 pick will be, but the number 2 actually isn't necessarily. You can actually get 5-star weapons just from the weapon gacha, so it is possible to get that free to play with just the game's rewards. And then you've also got these cards here, which these are the memories that you can get in the game. And these are also obtainable free to play as well, as long as you grind enough for them. But it's just nice to kind of have a guideline for yourself. If that type of stuff is overwhelming, there's tons of guides. There's somebody that I'll actually post a link below. It's Whiskey something, but he's done an amazing job on explaining this stuff. And then I know Vulcan's also followed suit on posting a lot of stuff. And I'm sure that there are others that are also wonderful. You know, somebody that you've watched good content on, definitely recommend them. I'll definitely check them out. I like to stay up to date with that. Now with the characters, you can actually upgrade them, promote them to increase their stats, evolve them once you get duplicates of them to get them closer to rank. It also increases their substats as you fill this up. And then you also got their skills. And their skills are kind of outlined similar to My Hero Academia, My Strongest Hero, but it's really cool because you can upgrade them and then you can kind of see here all the passive parts of it, which is awesome. Now here's the weapon area that you're going to go ahead and equip. Here's some of the stats you're going to get with it as well. And then you've got the equip memory. One thing that's unique to this is that each area for this, so you have 6 different slots and each of the memories are respective to their slot. So you cannot put a memory 1 in a memory 2 slot. It's more important to collect the sets. And when you do make a character like this, you're actually going to be able to get set skills based on these. So I have 3 set skills based on these 3 being tied together. Again, if you want guides on min-maxing that type of stuff, we can do that at a later point. But that's basically it for the characters. A lot of good stuff there, a lot of good information. And then finally, I just want to talk about these summons real quick, and then we'll look at the combat. There are 3 banners here. We got base, event, and special event. I still don't really understand the difference between these 2. This is going to be the beginner exclusive one. And so the normal summoning is about 60 summons to be able to get a guaranteed S rank. And so for the beginner exclusive, you get 40. And the game gives you quite a bit of it within just kind of like the leveling prospects, but it will take a while. I think even currently, after 5 hours into the game, 31 is where I'm at. And so my goal is to get to 40 and then stop. I have used some of these black cards, which is the premium currency in the game. It's not the one that you purchase, but it's the one that most people would convert it to for summons specifically. It's kind of like a transferable currency that can go into any of these cards. Like I can increase them. Here we go. So I can use these black cards to basically turn them into these, and I can do it with the other cards as well. So a lot of people are saying to do the beginner exclusive first and then use your S rank pick to be able to choose basically 2 S stars right off the bat, which is awesome. One of my favorite things about this game is the focus research for the weapons. Guaranteed 6-star on every 30 attempts, which is awesome. That's probably one of the lowest attempts amount that I've seen in a gacha game. And then on top of that, you can actually choose which set you're actually going for, which allows you to be able to target the specific character you want to build. So if you appreciate a character's design, you can actually focus on building them with those sets, making pay to play a little bit more of a desire for some, I would assume, but it's just really nice that they do this because a lot of gacha games don't. And I think that this really removes a lot of the stress of having to have a character come out and know that their weapon is also going to be there for a limited time and then being taken away from you, so you can't ever get it. So this is a really nice aspect to it. This does also have this, but again, you can convert the black cards. So the reason why you would not want to use your black cards all the time is so that you have enough for specific things like the event cards as well as the weapon gacha banners. And then you have this weapon research one, which I don't really think it's worth talking about because it doesn't have any kind of rate up or anything. It doesn't seem like there's any kind of increased rate for anything to do it that way. And then you have the event banner, so the arrivals. So when a new character arrives, this is exactly what you'll be able to do. You get a 70% rate up on that unit once it hits an S rank, and that's what these cards are for. All right, now let's go ahead and take a look at the combat really quick, and you guys can kind of see for yourself exactly what this looks like. You have your dodge, which has limited amounts and then it recharges over time. You have your basic attacks, and then you have this like ring of different items that are skills basically. And then when you do dodging at a perfect time, it actually puts you into a matrix mode, and then these will start to glow. And that allows you to basically make it a triple pull. And then anytime you do a specific color, so if I do like a red, blue, or yellow, and I have a different character out, I can actually bring that other character on the battlefield. And I just did that with Nanami, and then they'll basically do a DPS attack and disappear. So it's super nice. And so the goal is, you know, managing your dodging, managing your abilities, and then switching to a different character when it makes sense. And then obviously making sure that you're healed. This is a game that you can easily die in. And Liv is a support character for that reason. She heals with her blue attacks, so it's very important. So the other thing is they have a ping system in this, which that's these little icons above your basic attack. So when you do them in certain successions, you're actually able to create like different skill pieces for them. And this is varying by character, which is really cool. And Lucia B rank actually has a different one than Lucia A rank. And so with this one, if you just use a blue or a yellow and then basically attack them, it marks the enemy, and you can just attack them to deal potential lightning damage. Then if you get a single or a 3 ping of the white and then go to the red for Liv, it'll actually allow her to do core lasers, deal 10 times of physical damage to a wide area. So it allows her to do an AoE. And then Nanami, she'll basically do an animation where she'll be able to burst for 3 seconds, and then the next basic attack will be kind of a ranged artillery attack that does quite a bit of DPS. These are the things that you're trying to do when you're out on the field with that character. So I'll switch to this character now, and so I think for her, it was a 3, so I'll use this. Overall, the game is very intuitive in its combat design, and so I would definitely recommend giving it a shot, playing through it, seeing for yourself. It's a very fun game to play through, and the nice thing is you get quite a few characters to choose from. The game is not overwhelming with that part though, which I do appreciate. If I go into the members here, you can actually see all the characters that are currently in the game. Of the ones the game gives to you, I've already mentioned the ones that are worth building right off the bat, that are free and that are given to you, and then based on what you decide for your S rank pick, then you can kind of start to build that character instead, and then kind of over time start to kind of replace things as you get them. One thing to note is that anything 3-star or below is typically recommended not to build unless you kind of going through a tutorial or something like that, or you absolutely need the battle power and you haven't pulled for anything. But it's recommended that 4-star even at minimum, and then 5-star is going to be like kind of the recommended stuff until you get your exclusive gear, of course. I think that Punishing Grey Raven has a lot of amazing things to start out with and a lot to build off of. And I felt this exact same way when I started playing Genshin Impact for the first time. You know, this isn't a game that's reinventing the wheel. It's just, you know, taking some really good concepts from other core games and building off of it, and using something that I find to be honestly pretty successful so far. I would love to know what you guys think. I'd love to know if you are looking forward to playing this game more, if it's something that's just not really your cup of tea, or if there's anything more you'd like to know about it. If you have any questions, feel free to put them below. Love to answer that for you. And if there's any more content you'd like me to cover as well. Feel free to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you like content on PC gaming, mobile gaming. Appreciate you guys just sticking along until this point, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks so much.